Well, this will be a nice change. Let's begin. Now, of course, I know I don't need to tell everyone just how ridiculous electric prices are actually going up by recently. In fact, just the other day I was thinking to myself that last year I was only paying around half of what I'm paying at the moment. And that's, of course, before the price goes up again in October. So if this story from ITV News is anything to go by, then I think we could all at least start to get one up over the energy companies out there. Because they say that we could be potentially paid a decent sum for not using our highly powered things so much at certain times.
What, you mean my mum won't let me play Fortnite? Sod that! I hate you, Smug one!
The article also says that households with smart meters could be paid for turning off high energy appliances, such as washing machines, during peak times to reduce the risk of blackouts this winter. Well, of course, a lot of people live their lives on the internet nowadays, don't they? So blackouts are more than likely going to affect us more than what they probably would have done during the 1970s, especially with my teenage son. I'm starting to actually think he was born with an iPhone attached to his hand. Although somehow I must have missed that. The National Grid Electricity System Operator, the ESO, is understood to be preparing to announce plans to reward customers for easing the strain on the power grid. Rebates for minimising the use of goods such as tumble dryers, dishwashers and game consoles during peak hours of 5 PM to 8 PM could have a rebate of as high as £6 per kilowatt hour. Well, I don't know about you, but I can definitely avoid playing my console during those times for £6, especially if it's available as a daily credit towards my bills, although unfortunately that also means I've got to pay attention to my girlfriend instead, which might actually be quite difficult. Oh, sod it, they can keep their £6. Anyway, the Sunday Times first report of the plans said that the grid will apply to the Ofgem regulator for approval, with hopes the scheme will be open by late October, which will come in quite handy, won't it, with the price rise going on by then. A National Grid ESO spokesman said, "We are delivering a new service that will be available for customers to benefit from access this winter and will be announcing further information soon. The plans follow a trial of Octopus Energy customers earlier this year, where as little as 20p was paid for every kilowatt hour saved. A range of prices has since been considered, including up to £6 per kilowatt hour." And to be honest, surely that just shows just how much money they've got to splash about, doesn't it? If they can afford to give rebates of up to £6 per kilowatt hour. Well, obviously I could be wrong, but I guess that might have a little something to do with the ridiculous profits that companies like British Gas and maybe a few others made last year. In fact, I've heard that some of those fancy and often very expensive EV charging points out there are actually around 30 to 50p per kilowatt hour, so I'm guessing that by October it'll be probably much higher than that, unless of course they choose to shut them down as well to conserve energy. But if they do that, then that could cause quite a problem, couldn't it, for the government's green agenda? Because I don't know about you, but it doesn't exactly make EVs look appealing, does it? If we can't charge them when we're out and about. So for any companies or organisations to be considering offering rebates of up to £6 per kilowatt hour, just shows how much of a problem this could potentially be, doesn't it? I mean, just imagine what would happen in 2030 when, of course, they're no longer making petrol or diesel cars anymore, or when actually EVs become more mainstream. I mean, could it be a weekly blackout or maybe even a daily blackout? Although hopefully they'll sort something out by then, though. Starting with this EV problem, which could actually be quite dangerous for our children. Anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.